All right, guys, this is Paul Singh, the Market Speculator, with the trade report for January 31st, 2017, Tuesday. Market started off the week with a gap down, pretty significant in that it got down around 1% intraday before closing decently at 0.62. And we're seeing a number of these kind of hammers. Ideally, now off the hammer, we want to see some continuation. Pre-market, we're closing within yesterday's range, but we are opening a little to the downside. Not significant. I think it's only 0.2%, but something to watch here. Obviously, we want to see it recapture here into the gap. So SPY got hit below, closing below the 9. More significantly, IWM closing below its 50-day moving average. So still really lagging, and the Qs did pull back pretty significantly, 0.78, but putting in that hammer and above its 9. So still showing some relative strength. If we look at some of these other sectors, energy getting hit very hard, almost down 2%. Oil down 1%, still holding that 50 there, which is pretty good for our position there. Now, biotech, Trump is meeting with some of the big drug makers, I think it is today. So could be a significant day for biotech. Again, we're waiting for the remount of the moving averages here. Semiconductors also recovering very nicely, 0.47% after testing the moving average there. And then Russia, big gap down, and Brazil, big gap down. So we're basically today going to watch and see what happens here on these gap downs. Do they end up recovering right away, or are we going to see a little bit of a pullback? And our positions held up pretty good today, yesterday. NVIDIA holding its 9. FCX basically just putting an inside day above its 9. FAS was down quite a bit intraday, but closed closed at its highs. So a little bit of a gap down. We're at 42, right around our entry. Netflix came back very nicely, still within range there. Cyber, same thing, putting that hammer, holding in that 9. Play actually closed green and is back up above its 9. So things are looking pretty good for the positions we are in. UWTI, middle of the range. And TZA, obviously, with the market going down, it went up nicely close to our entry level. So not looking to do a whole lot today unless we get a reversal. It's still the same focus list stocks, still the same analysis here. If we look at when earnings breakout setup pullback, LUV pulled back here, you could actually consider entering LUV here if you were looking at it or something, because it tested the bottom of the range and held up quite nicely. And then it's the rest of our, basically our rest of our focus list doing the same thing. BABA testing the bottom of the range really nicely. That could be a potential entry there. And then I've added 2 earnings plays, HZO, which tested its 9 and held up well. And also SWKS, which could be a high kite flag here. I would watch for a break of about 93. But earnings breakout made a nice little run, consolidated, and now we'll see if it gets that push to 100. But a lot of what I do today is going to be dependent on the market. And then remember, Apple is reporting after hours today, so could have a big impact on February 1st tomorrow. So that's it for the trade report, guys. I will see you later today or early tomorrow.